Today is Friday, July 25th, 2025, and I am outside the municipal building in Loveland, Colorado. Loveland City Attorney Vince Junglas and City Councilor Steve Olson were served legal documents today. The legal documents are known as notices of claim. That means they have 90 days to settle this case before the district court gets the cases. Both Olson and Junglas are being sued for defamation per se, actual malice. And both of those government employees have had more than 5 months to retract their defamatory statements and to make these cases go away. The City of Loveland, following a decades-long pattern, refuses to take care of their legal issues before it reaches the district court, and as a matter of practice, they end up costing the taxpayers much more in damages than if they would simply do the right thing from the outset. First of all, not get into trouble legally, and then second of all, when they are in trouble legally, it's in the taxpayers' best interest to settle these cases before the district court gets involved. In the state of Colorado, defamation law has very strict parameters, and so I'm showing you this in the interest of transparency and accountability on my part. However, I won't be able to post the notices of claim because in Colorado, as with many other states, if the person who has been defamed posts the defamatory statements, then that basically voids the lawsuit. And the reason for that is the legal system says that if the person who is defamed is posting those topics, then they are basically self-publishing and defaming themselves. I won't be doing that, and so that means you won't be able to see the notices of claim. When the district court, well, if the City of Loveland decides not to settle these before the district court gets involved, then you will be able to see the malicious defamation that City Attorneys Vince Junglas and City Councilor Steve Olson have done to me. If you've been in Loveland for any time at all, you may remember that I was forced to sue a former city councilor, Joan Schaefer. That case settled in my favor, and again, I gave the city and Ms. Schaefer every opportunity to keep the case out of district court and to save the taxpayers' money. However, the City of Loveland believed that they could fight the case against Ms. Schaefer and win. However, they were wrong. The city ended up paying for all of the costs and fees in the settlement of the lawsuit against Ms. Schaefer when she was a councilwoman, and Ms. Schaefer ended up having, as part of the settlement agreement, having to apologize for defaming me. I hope that we can avoid a district court lawsuit. It's expensive, it's time consuming, and it costs the taxpayers a lot of money. But you need to know the reason I'm doing this is, as an independent investigative journalist, the only thing I have is my credibility. Now, that means it comes with a lot of extra responsibility on my part because I am independent. I don't have the coverage of a big corporate media group who have 50 attorneys who are going to defend me even if I would do something wrong. And that's why I don't do anything wrong. If I publish a report, that means I have the evidence in my possession. That means I can prove what I say. And at no time has anyone ever been able to prove that something I have reported on has been false. And the reason for that is I've never reported on anything that was untrue or inaccurate. I can tell you that the foundation of these lawsuits goes back to Loveland Police Chief Tim Doran and his outrageous actions at a special meeting, an executive session, where he violated the law, and City Attorney Vince Junglas knew that Chief Doran violated the law, but neither one of them cared. So that's what the foundation of these lawsuits are based on, and then the fact that Steve Olson and Vince Junglas lied about it. Lied about my involvement, lied about what happened, and that's not acceptable to me. Also, if you've been paying attention to the city of Loveland at any level, you may be familiar with District Court Judge Juan Villaseñor's analogy that the city of Loveland is a banana republic. If you haven't read the book that Judge Villaseñor recommended during the city of Loveland when they sued Jackie Marsh, Mayor Jackie Marsh, then I do recommend that you read that book that Judge Villaseñor read or suggested we read, and it's called Persons and Masks of the Law. It's written by John T. Noonan, and it is a fabulous summary of how the city of Loveland continues to operate as a banana republic. This particular book, Persons and Masks of the Law, is a little bit technical, a little bit hard to understand, but if you know anything about the city of Loveland and how the government operates here, you can read it and understand exactly what is happening. For a little bit lighter read, more compelling than just the law, is this book called Bananas by Peter Chapman. This is much easier to understand and process and relate to the city of Loveland. So I recommend both of these books so that you can get an idea of how history is repeating itself. And the reason history repeats itself is because people like City Councilor Steve Olson and City Attorney Vince Junglas convince the community, they convince the public that lies are truth and truth are lies. That's how corruption operates. That's how corruption operates in the city of Loveland. It's no mystery, but here we are again with 2 lawsuits pending, and we'll see. We'll see if the city of Loveland has learned anything, and time will tell.